Upside DIY. So, besides, this is the simplest tool for Lenovo IdeaPad 110. Start it up. It's plugged in. And I've got a boot disk. I'm going to just try to start it up normally. This should take you to a Novo button menu. And then it's got different. I'm gonna actually. Well, I need to double check the BIOS setup. And you kind of see all this stuff like the system memory, hard disk, even the pre-installed like operating system license, the boot mode UEFI. I'm going to change that just for this time. Fast boot enabled. I'm going to just change that to legacy support. So now that's legacy support. Boot priority. I'm going to because I didn't have enable USB boot, enable just in case Windows Boot Manager. So it's got two different options. So there's like Windows Boot Manager, then there's the USB device. So I'm going to exit, and then it's going to ask me to save. Save. Then I guess it's going to try to start up. It's going to throw an error code. The boot configuration data file doesn't contain valid information. What if I just restart? So what I'm going to do is just power off and then go back to using the Novo key, the sim tool. So I'm going to try to just press this for 2 seconds. And now it's going to take me back to, hopefully get back to, and just try to do a normal startup. I tried the system recovery, the bottom. I did the boot menu. Yeah, so I haven't gotten these types of messages before. So now what I'm going to try to do is take off the boot stick, this thing, this device, and basically try to do the same thing for the Novo key. And something might work, something might be another option. So try to do a normal startup, and let's see if it goes into an error page. So recovery, press F8 for startup settings, press escape for UEFI firmware settings. So when it happens like this, I've got to let the computer actually just, press escape for you. So it's gonna ask for the boot disk. I think the only thing I could do is the escape. So since I use the boot disk, it's kind of stuck on that. So I really so a USB legacy, because I'm just hoping. So I did change a lot of stuff. Hotkey mode enabled, security. So just the configuration, the USB function is enabled in legacy. And if I use the boot drive, it's echo. The instruction says it's the UEFI settings, and everything's kind of boot priority, boot mode being shown, security configuration. So I'm going to take off the USB legacy, disabled. So the wireless LAN disabled. Intel virtual technology. I basically used to have that disabled. Allow BIOS to be back level to a previous version. So I'm going to try to disable the backflash hotkey mode. And then now I'm just going to just exit. So everything's set up to boot on the power boot on the power button and no boot key. Just and then it's gonna probably crash. So when it starts to crash real hard, I just let it sit for a day or two, work on something else, and basically just power off, and just probably on the bonus review of some of these parts. This is a boot disk with Windows 11, 10, 8, and 7 on it, and then this DDR, and then I also added some thermal paste, which is that I got probably like some a spare battery, pretty much. I also bought these a while ago. I guess I'm gonna put the flash drive away. I got the battery out and stuff, so somewhere I could, just in case this crashes and stuff. So I already took off the screws and things. I just want to make this. So I wore some work gloves. I already cleaned up. Yeah, I changed the thermal paste, and now I could basically. This battery doesn't need to really be replaced, but the laptop is showing a battery not detected, so it might be this. But somehow it's still keeping the clock and stuff working. So I guess I used some dull type of tweezers, and I kind of first I was using a wooden popsicle stick, which I was using to scrape up the glue, and just flipped out. So I'm gonna try to clean up as I go along. I'm gonna use some of the supplies. So I kind of I put the new battery in, and then I pulled on both sides of the um, bracket or the mount, and then now need to just get this 8 GB module ready. So here's a kind of look at the new. Here's the old one, and then the new one, 8 GB. So now all that's left is just the cover, double checking, maybe clean up. I did try on the wrong side of the connector, but the connector is kind of in there, so now I just need to put in most of the screws. Seem to always be missing, but I think after I put the keyboard in, I screw those down. So there's like 2 screws on the back that it's hard to figure out, but I think that's for the keyboard. Now I've got a little bit of time to power it on. So for some reason, I want to try this boot disk. So I want to also try the Novokey and the boot disk. So there's a small button or hole right there. So the computer, just press it, maybe 2 seconds. But there's a small guide, I guess, if I really need my camera to work a lot better for some stuff. So install the boot. After startup, press delete or 12, delete F2, F8. After startup, press F12. I got from more to 100. This should be 500 gigabytes. I haven't. It's really tough ordering a lot of stuff and not testing it. So right there, really good value. Then I've got a USB drive, which I put in this drawer. This is the boot disk. So How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to Upside. So I just bought this from Amazon. Got Windows 11, 10, 8. So I've got a few different laptops, 10, 8, and 7. And also if even like TVs and so I'm going to be able to use this hopefully for a few of my repairs, and I ordered it. It's $20.99. So this is mainly, and then I've got pretty much a couple of laptops. Those are Windows XP. It doesn't have, and this is it. And push it into that plug, and that didn't take too long. Just depends. So it's going to cycle and check just what it's set up. I could get into BIOS at this point, stuff like that. But there's also a Lenovo, kind of like a SIM card type of reset that I could do. I need to do a little bit of research. So I wish I could do a little bit more, but right here it just says insert boot disk and stuff. And what I just ordered should try to fix it. Only thing, maybe there's just issues, but just one thing at a time. With key, let's see. So it's basically a sim tool, and basically, yeah, it just depends exactly, but you know, holding, even powering on the laptop, there's a special so I just press that and it does try to restart. So it does give me a BIOS, and and then so a lot of people use Legacy. So the UEFI is press F10 to save. The computer will automatically restart, and the camera to work a lot better for some stuff. So install the boot. After startup, press delete or 12, delete F2, F8 on your keyboard. Upon seeing the brand logo in the boot section, select and enter boot option number 1 to set your UEFI USB drive as the first boot option. So, a lot of people use Legacy. So, the UEFI is press F10 to save. The computer will automatically restart and enter the installation interface. Like fully like set up or anything to test every single item and stuff. So I need to open up this. And portable external hard drive. It's got the instructions like most hard drives that I've seen, brand new. It's got a nice case to it. Oh, it does have a USB-C, I think. And what I could try to probably do with this is hook it up to my tablet. See, there's all types of extra and how these kind of special adapter, and even though the charging isn't gonna be that good or anything, or maybe one of these could, just depends. Like but I think it's really clean. It's got a nice chrome trim to it and stuff. There's just really no other power buttons or anything. Everything's controlled by the device or tablet, which I kind of have.